$100,000. Wow. If you've saved this much, you're in a pretty small club. Seriously, only about 22% of Americans have actually hit this milestone. So, just for a second, give yourself a huge pat on the back. That took real work. But you know, this is just the beginning. The real question is, how do we turn this into a cool million?
Okay, let's really dig into this quote, because it's probably the single most important idea for this next chapter of your financial life. The mindset, the habits, the entire game plan that you use to grind your way to that first 100 grand, well, it served its purpose. It's time for a whole new system. So here's the deal. Up until now, you've been playing defense. You were all about cutting costs, thinking about scarcity, and asking what I call $3 questions. You know, stuff like, can I afford this coffee? But now, the game has totally changed. We are switching to offense. We're going to be focused on growth, on abundance, and on asking $30,000 questions. These are the kind of questions that can literally change your financial future overnight.
To play this new game, you're going to need a new playbook. And I'm not talking about just trying harder or downloading some fancier budgeting app. In fact, you should probably just delete your budgeting app. This is about building a smarter, more powerful system that's built for the level you're at now. And it's all built on 3 core pillars.
Because let's be real, the goal isn't just to see a bigger number in your account, right? It's about what that number actually does for you. It's about buying back your time, traveling without that little voice of worry in your head, maybe retiring a bit earlier, and spending big on the things you truly, deeply love. It's all about having options.
All right, so pillar number 1 of our new playbook is all about automation, but on a much, much bigger scale. We're going to create a super simple, step-by-step system for where every single dollar goes next. I like to call it the ladder of personal finance. Let's climb this ladder. Step 1 is a total no-brainer. You've got to get your full 401k match. It's literally free money. Don't leave it on the table. Okay, next, step 2, you've got to aggressively attack any high-interest debt, like credit cards. No more minimum payments. Make a plan and automate it. Then, step 3, open and fund a Roth IRA. This thing is huge because your money grows completely tax-free. When you pull it out in retirement, you owe nothing in taxes on all that growth. Now for step 4, we're going to circle back to that 401k and max it out to the legal limit. After that, step 5 is kind of a secret weapon that a lot of people miss, the Health Savings Account, or HSA. It's triple tax advantaged. The money goes in tax-free, it grows tax-free, and it comes out tax-free for medical stuff. It's an amazing tool for both health and retirement. And finally, step 6. Once all those other accounts are maxed out, you open a taxable brokerage account. This is your playground for investing without any limits.
And here's a little trick to put all of this on hyperdrive, the December rule. Every single December, you log into your accounts and you increase your automatic investment rate by just 1 or 2%. That's it. That one tiny decision made just once a year will be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars more over your lifetime. It's so simple.
Now that your investment system is all automated and locked in, it's time for pillar 2. This is where you get to reclaim all that mental energy. You have officially earned the right to stop thinking about the price of a latte. From now on, we're going to focus only on the big wins, the $30,000 questions.
You know, this quote just says it all. It is such a tragedy to have all this money in the bank but still feel that anxiety over buying groceries. That is the old game. We're not playing that anymore. The new game is about thinking bigger. Much, much bigger.
So let's ask our first $30,000 question, shall we? A lot of people with a growing portfolio have a financial advisor who charges a small 1% fee on their assets. Sounds pretty harmless, right? I mean, it's just 1%. But what does that really cost you? Just take a look at this chart. Let's say you start with $50,000 and invest $1,000 a month for 35 years into a simple, low-cost index fund. You could end up with over $2 million. Pretty great, right? But that seemingly tiny 1% advisor fee, over time, it just eats away at your returns, leaving you with around $1.7 million instead.
That's $380,000. That small 1% fee costs you almost 400 grand. Firing an advisor who charges those kinds of fees, they're called AUM fees, is one of the biggest, fastest financial wins you can get.
Here's another one, housing. Most people just compare a mortgage payment to their rent. But that's not even close to the real cost. You have to factor in what I call phantom costs. Things like insurance, property taxes, closing costs, and especially maintenance, which can be 1 to 3% of the home's value every single year. Not running these numbers is a massive, multi-$100,000 mistake.
And the final big win is income. When people get to a certain salary, they kind of just coast. Don't do that. Go research your market value. Are you being underpaid? Could you leverage your skills into a side business? Earning more isn't just about making your net worth bigger. It's about buying you the freedom to say yes to things most people can't even dream of.
Which brings us to our third, and honestly, the most important pillar. We've built the engine to grow your wealth, but what's it all for? The point isn't to die with the highest score. The point is to use money as a tool to design your rich life. And you can start today. This is the part that makes all that hard work actually worth it.
I really hate the term lifestyle creep. It makes it sound like an accident, like you tripped and whoops, you fell into a cashmere sweater. No, we're going to reframe this as conscious spending. It is intentional, it's planned. As you earn more, you should be spending more and saving more and investing more, confidently. The secret to doing this without any of the guilt is to figure out your money dials. These are the specific things you just absolutely love spending money on. It could be travel, incredible food, your personal fitness, or just pure convenience. These are the dials you get to turn way up.
So let me ask you a question right now. If I just handed you an extra $25,000, totally tax-free, what's the first thing you would spend it on? And you're not allowed to say save or invest. What's the very first thing that just popped into your head?
That answer, that gut reaction, that's your #1 money dial. And this is the real secret to living a rich life. You spend extravagantly, without apology, on the things that bring you joy. And to pay for it, you cut costs mercilessly on all the stuff you couldn't care less about.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's wrap this all up. Here is your brand new playbook for the journey from $100,000 to $1 million.
First, you got to evolve your strategy. Remember, what got you here won't get you there. Second, automate everything by systematically climbing that ladder of personal finance. Third, shift your focus away from the tiny $3 questions and onto the massive $30,000 questions like fees, housing, and your income. And finally, and this is the most important part, use your money as a tool to intentionally design your rich life by turning up your money dials guilt-free.
And I just want to leave you with this one last thought. After all the hard work, all the saving, all the investing, really, what is the point of building up all this money if you never actually give yourself permission to use it to live a richer, more vibrant life, starting right now?